Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this video, I would like to give you short explanations about the interest groups and democracy. I hope you can look for or you can search another sources to develop your knowledge about the interest group and democracy. But today, I would like to explain short explanations about the interest groups and democracy. Interest are anything that provides benefits to individuals or groups. Interests are not like desires or preference, usually understood to be objective and real. And also, interest groups uh, defined or interest groups are groups of people who happen to have common interest but may lack awareness of this fact. And also on the interest groups, there are three classifications. The first one is communal groups. The second one is institutional groups, and the third one is associational groups. The communal groups have the characteristics is they are embedded in the social structure in the sense that their members are based on the birth or and there is no requirement from the on the communal groups, and the examples of the communal groups such as the groups, the family, the groups based on the ethnicity, the group based on caste, the group based on ethnic, and etc. For the example, in Africa, there are ethnic and family ties are often the most important basis for voicing interest. The, the institutional groups are the groups that are part of the government machine and seek to exert influence in and through the machines. Usually do not have the autonomy and the independency. This group do not have the autonomy and the independency. The bureaucracy and the military are the examples of the institutional interest groups. And also, institutional groups are not only significant in non-democratic regimes, but also in democratic regimes. It is not uncommon for the private interest which develop in the ministries, departments, and the agencies of democratic system actually influence the policy process greatly. They play a role in limiting or in deciding the elected politicians and the elected government. For the example, such groups can build alliances with conventional interests, conventional interest groups such as the military and the group based on the industry. And the third one is associational groups. Associational groups are the groups formed by the society that unite to purpose common and limited goals. Associational groups also uh, are characterized by voluntary actions and the existence of shared interests, aspirations, or attitudes. Interest groups come in all shapes and sizes. They deal with a variety of issues and objectives and employ tactics ranging from assisting public bodies and assisting in the implementations of government programs and helping to organize civil disobedience campaigns and the public protest. They also can operate at local, national, and international levels. So we can conclude the interest group is an organized associations that aims to influence the policies or actions of the government. Interest groups differ from political parties in the following ways. They seek to exert influence from outside rather than win or exercise government power. They typically have a narrow focus issue in which they usually focus on a specific goal or interest of a particular group. They rarely have the broad programmatic or ideological features common to political parties. And on the interest group, or the political model of interest group has three models. The first one is pluralisms, the second one is corporatisms, and the last one is new right models, or kanan baru model kanan baru. The pluralism model, the core theme of pluralism theory is the political power is divided and widely distributed. Decisions are made through a complex negotiations and interactions with which ensures that the views, interests of many groups are considered and taken into account. Pluralism model, the main assumptions of pluralist theory are that all groups and interests have the potential to organize and gain access to the government, that they are internally responsive in the sense that leaders broadly voices the interests or values of their members, and that their politicians politically influence generally in tune with their size and the intensity of their support. And also Robert Dahl explained that pluralism model is all active and legitimate groups in a society can make themselves heard at a crucial degree in the decisions making process. And the second one is corporatism models. Corporatism is a social theory that emphasizes the privileged positions that certain groups have in relations to the government, which enables them to influence the formulations and implementations of the public policy made by the government. And also corporatism broadly is a way of incorporating organized interest into government process. And to phases of corporatisms, the first one is state or authoritarianism. Corporatism is a related ideological or economic form associated with Italian fascism, characterized by political intimidations of industry, and breakdown of trade unions. And the second one is a liberal corporatism. Liberal corporatism is a societal corporatism, or we can call it as neo-corporatism, that points to the trend that occurs in mature liberal democracies, where organized interests gain privilege and institutional access to the policy formulation process. And the last one is new right model. Right model, right groups or right models or new right models is a term that refers to a segment of the political spectrum usually associated with conservatism, classical liberalism, religious right groups, or just the opposite of the political left. In some contexts, the term right wing or right group can also include authoritarian nationalism, but it also more of a part of the extreme right. This term, organized from the seat arrangement of the Legislative Council during the French Revolutions, when the monarchies who supported ancient regime were usually referred to as the right because they sat on the right in the chamber of the Legislative Council. And if and also on the last slide, I have uh, the questions for you, and you should answer these questions on and submit it to the my class. My question is, which are the interest group, and give the reasons. Give the reasons. There are five pictures. The first one is Greenpeace. The second one is Komisi Pemilihan Umum. The third one is Indonesia Corruption Watch. The third one is Act Care for Humanity, and the last one is Komisi Pemberantasan Korupsi. And you should choose which are the interest group, and you should give the reason why this picture, or why these organizations, or why these institutions is the interest group. And you should submit your answer on the my class. And if there are any questions, you can ask me, or ask Mas Edward, or ask Pak Bambang on the WhatsApp group, or you can chat me on the WhatsApp. I think that's all from my short explanations. Maybe you can also search another resource about this interest group, and we can discuss on another meetings. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.